Management Practice Component 2. The Finance Graduate Market. After carrying out some thorough research, I discovered that the finance industry is currently the third most stable profession in the UK, and that 1 in 4 employees aged 16 to 34 are considering a career in finance. This research also included carrying out an analysis of 3 finance graduate job specifications in an attempt to be finding the requirements for the ideal candidate. From this, I found that all 3 jobs required a degree level of 2-1 or above, with 1 of 3 requiring Bs in Maths and English GCSEs, and another one requiring 3 Bs at A-level. Having experience in a fast-paced environment was ideal for 2 of the vacancies, but being a proficient user of Microsoft software was a standout experience and skill needed, which I did expect due to the work I would be carrying out. Also, possessing a strong work ethic and good time organisation skills were also asked for. This was to make sure I would be able to meet deadlines correctly. This analysis and a series of self-assessments helped me develop my personal development plan, which I hope will guide me to becoming an ideal candidate for the graduate finance position. My self-analysis. In addition to an analysis of the graduate market, I carried out a series of self-assessments so I was able to compare myself to the requirements of these 3 finance graduate jobs. The following slide shows 3 of these self-assessments, as well as a SWOT analysis that I was able to complete at the end of my self-assessment process. I included the Johari window as it allowed me to receive feedback from others regarding what skills they associated me with and compared it with what I thought of myself. From this, I learned that as well as thinking it myself, others also described me as reliable, friendly, organised and caring. However, I also discovered that I could be seen as trusting, observant and serious. I also carried out a time log to analyse my time management on a normal day, as possessing time organisation skills was one of the main requirements from the graduate job analysis. The results from this showed that I have a significant amount of time for skills development, for example the hour period where I was procrastinating for an hour, whereas this spare time could be used to help me towards becoming the ideal candidate. The final self-assessment shown on slide 3 was Belbin's self-perception inventory, which allowed me to identify the personal behavioural preferences I possess when working in a team. The results from this self-assessment showed that I played more of an action-orientated role, such as a shaper or an implementer. My personal development plan. Developing confidence. This is relevant to my professional development as I want to be able to enter my placement feeling confident enough to approach chats with any level of difficulty. It also leads to progress regarding my personal development, as it will allow me to push my abilities to the full, and in this process I may discover skills I was not aware of. How can I develop ways of my self-motivation? By enhancing my ability to self-motivate myself in simple everyday life situations, such as getting out of bed and starting the day at a more productive time. This personal development can later be applied to my placement workplace, allow me to develop professionally. This is highly relevant to my personal development plan, as self-motivation already has and will influence many factors in my everyday life. Maintain my IT skills. My year-long placement will allow me to achieve this goal, as I will have repeated use of software such as Excel due to it being one of my requirements as an auditor. Using software such as Excel becoming a normality is part of my success criteria in my personal development plan, as this is likely to be achieved through the professional development progress I make in my placement year. And finally, having a strong work ethic. This could be an ability that could be seen more difficult to possess due to my year of unemployment aligning with the COVID-19 pandemic. This affects many uni students like myself mentally, resulting in issues regarding self-motivation. Meaning I need to develop personally regarding a strong work ethic before I can develop professionally in the workplace. The importance of a strong work ethic during my placement year is dominant due to it resulting in job security, helping me achieve my aim of having a successful placement that I believe will be vital when applying for graduate schemes. So experiences and activities have benefited me in the last year. These include receiving my placement, assessment centre activities which were done in seminars, and introducing regular exercise into my lifestyle. So, receiving my placement. The initial stage of applying for placements was difficult for me due to my confidence being affected by the events of the last year, hence why developing confidence was included in my personal development plan. I started exercise as one of my main hobbies for my personal development, which then gave me enough confidence to apply for placements. By succeeding in receiving a placement, this gave me a huge boost of confidence, knowing that I still had the mind frame to pursue my industry goal. This later showed in my second semester, where my grades have seriously improved from semester one due to my change in mentality. The assessment centre activities. In week 3, me and my seminar group were tasked with listening to a set of instructions on how to draw a certain shape on a piece of paper. We then shared our drawings to our group, including a discussion of what the shape was meant to be. The following week presented us with the original shape, after also discussing which we thought was the closest to the original. This tested many of my skills, including listening, ability to focus, and my ability to discuss in a team, as well as one of my PDP aims, developing my confidence. Presenting my ideas to strangers is something I can bring to my placement and can also coincide with my other PDP aim of self-motivation. Receiving feedback is something I can learn from and I can use to motivate me in the future. And finally, introducing exercise into my daily routine. In September, I joined a gym and started to train 5 days a week and have been doing so up to now. This was an attempt to maintain a positive aspect on life during the COVID-19 pandemic, as I believe this definitely needs to be achieved before I'm able to develop professional skills, such as my personal development plan aim, developing a strong work ethic. This has definitely been one of the main sources of my personal development in the last year, so I aspire to carry on included in the gym as part of my daily routine, even when my placement begins. From this, I hope I can develop professionally through reaching my PDP targets, such as having a strong work ethic and maintaining my IT abilities due to having a better mental aspect on life in and out of work. So finally, my summary of learning. Despite the circumstances of the last year and how my study environment has seriously changed, I can confidently say that I believe I have developed both personally and professionally. Regarding personal development, by introducing a healthier lifestyle into my everyday routine, my improvements in mentality has coincided with two of my previous personal development plan goals, developing my confidence and self-motivation abilities. By being healthier, I have been able to motivate myself in the mornings, allowing me to start the day earlier and be more productive. This is something I'm really glad I have achieved, as it will make the process of getting used to being in full-time employment for a year on my placement easier. The quicker I get into the routine, the quicker I can fulfill my potential and hopefully become the ideal candidate the company is looking for. Secondly, regarding my professional development, my academic ability is clearly improved based on my grades. In the last 6 months, the ways in which I learn from and apply feedback has seriously improved, which is one of my main reasons my grades have also improved. I personally believe this is a vital skill to have, especially when entering a new workplace. My report writing is a skill I've struggled with in the past, but recent grades have shown this is no longer the case. So slide 9 shows some of the strengths I've developed since producing my original SWOT analysis and personal development plan months ago. Developing confidence and my ways of self-motivation were included on my original personal development plan, so by including these in my latest strengths shows that this plan was successful. These strengths are followed by some of my weaknesses I've discovered since producing my last SWOT analysis, as well as some that I still possess, such as my linguistic ability. It is something I do not believe will improve unless I am placed in a situation where I'm working abroad, so I am forced to learn another language in my own time. Overthinking and being stressed is a weakness I have recently developed. However, I believe this can also be turned into a strength, as I will make sure things are done to perfection. Finally, I have also highlighted the ideal candidate requirements for the finance graduate job I aim for that I am still able to achieve. This begins with a final degree grade 2-1 or above, which I am currently on track to achieve. However, I need to make sure I maintain these grades after my year in industry. But in the meantime, I can take this opportunity in my placement to develop the other skills required to be an ideal candidate in the finance industry, such as possessing a consistent, strong work ethic and allowing my constant use of Microsoft Excel to make it one of my main skills by the end of the year. Thanks for listening.